Mike, you've talked about Washington's size. How does your club compete effectively against a team this big?
Well, obviously they got a big team. They got an experienced team. They're last year's Cup champs, and they've played well, with the exception of last game. So it's going to be, a good test for our team. We're excited to play. We want to spend some time in the O-zone. That's the best way.
How did you find that Cup win carried over to the next season?
Well, I think initially you're all excited and you play real good. I think there has a chance to be lulls in it. But one thing about it is you know how to play, and you got experience, and you can always go back to it. And the other thing is you usually have a high skill level, and so in the end it gives you lots of confidence. And you've had a good summer. You feel good about yourself.
Good matchup for your centers and theirs as well.
No, obviously. I mean, they got good players. We got good players, and one of the reasons you win in the National League is you're deeper down the middle than other teams. And I thought they were the deepest team that way last year. I mean, Kuznetsov, Ellers, Backstrom, they're all elite players. I don't know who the one is, and I don't know who the two is, but they're good. I think we're in a situation as we mature into a group that we're set up like that as well.
Mike, Ennis was coming in to kind of hit the reset button here a bit.
Yeah.
What hasn't worked for him?
Well, that's where you're misreading things. He didn't come in here to play with Matthews. He came in here. Just Nylander wasn't here. Got to play with him. This is exactly what we expected. He played good last game. Johnny's been out for 2. Johnny's going in. But this is what we expected. So to say that he hasn't done anything would be wrong. This is what we expected him. He's done a good job for us. He'll be back in.
Okay, I guess that's not quite what I was getting at, but just expectations then, if you have him playing in Willie's role, is there not maybe more to come from playing with Matthews then?
No, not really. We just want him to do what he does. We're happy with him. He's a good person. He's skated good. He's made plays. He's done his thing, and we've been happy with him. It gives us a veteran forward who's played in the league, who knows how to play. It's not always easy to be in his spot, but he knows the spot he's in. That's what we signed him for. I think it's going really well for him. So to think otherwise, or that I'm thinking something different, would be reading wrong into it.
The idea of making yourself feel important to the team, is that the simple message for a guy like Johnson getting back into the lineup?
Well, the biggest thing is you got to play good. I mean, he obviously had an elite finish and won the Calder Cup. That's all over with. You got to do it at the National Hockey League level. And, I mean, they're different leagues, obviously. We think Johnny's a good player. Now he's got to become a good player every day in the National Hockey League. And that means with your preparation, that means with your play on the wall, that means with your turnovers, that means your power play time, everything. And you got to take it as it's important. I think it's often a great reminder to all of us when things don't go as well as we should. It's kind of a reset, and he's been given that. Good opportunity for him.
Mike, what's the idea with Garrett, given that there aren't the obvious back-to-backs for another month?
Well, I don't know. I'm just worried about winning today. Okay. And then Stevie and him are trying to turn himself into an NHL goalie. No different than Johnny. You've done it in the American Hockey League. Now you got to do it in the National Hockey League, and there's a big difference in the league and the shooters. And so he's got time right now to build a foundation, no different than we're doing with Ozzy Gonoff. All our guys, we're trying to get them ready to play in the National League.
Trying to get over the hump for a while. What did you notice? What stood out when you saw the run to the Cup last year?
Well, it's just, and this is a good message for all people, is it just doesn't happen because you think it should. And lots of times it takes battle scars. I think Yzerman won it when he was 31 or something like that. Not that he wasn't a great player the whole time. Ovechkin, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is 32. Is that right? So when you go through it, it takes some time usually, and you got to dig in and compete and learn how to win. And you have to learn how to win when it matters. But obviously, he did a real good job last year. Trotzy did a good job with the group. It wasn't smooth right at the start, and they got her rolling and they kept her going.
Is that a challenge then? Because obviously you're not looking at Austin going, he's not going to win till he's 31 or 32.
Well, that's not what I'm looking at all. All I'm doing is getting ready for segment 2 in Washington. You guys do all the thinking. I just get ready for the next game.